What if I told you in Uma Musume you can actually specify what spark to take? Sounds surprising, right? Now before you panic, take a breath of fresh air and get your swinging maestro vibes ready. Because today, I'll show you the URA Finale features that are missing right now. And once you see them, you'll probably be asking yourself, will this really take years to come? And why can't we have them right now? Let's start strong with Happy Meek Duels. During training, on some random turns, instead of just seeing the rainbow link, you'll spot showdown icon in your training menu. And if you look closely at the support horse icons, you'll notice none other than Happy Meek herself. Now, some of you might be asking who is Happy Meek. Right now, you've probably only seen her in cutscenes, goal races, or the URA Finale itself. But Happy Meek is a special rival who randomly shows up during training, challenging your Uma to duel for extra rewards. When you choose the showdown icon, the duel begins. But here's the catch, it's not a race animation, it's a cutscene with dialogue, and the outcome depends on your stats plus some RNG. You'll get free random aptitude choices like speed, stamina, power, or even physical strength. Whichever you pick is the stat you'll challenge Happy Meek with. Let's say you choose stamina. At level 1, if you win, you'll raise stamina cap a little, gain some stats, skill points, and even a hint skill. If you lose, you'll still get a smaller bonus. For physical strength, this is not the same as endurance. Instead, it measures your Uma's training energy. If you win Physical Strength Showdown, you'll get Max Energy plus 4. This makes Physical Strength one of the most unique showdown options, maxing your training energy beyond 100. And the best part, these duels scale up. The higher the level, the better the rewards. Even losses give you something back, so you're never wasting a turn. So yeah, the Happy Meek duels add extra challenge and extra rewards to URA runs. Whether it's higher stats or boosting your max energy, these duels make training way more exciting. But what about races? What if the system itself gave you more control over outcomes? That's where the upgraded alarm clock comes in. Currently in Global, you can only use it if you fail a goal race. So if the objective is top 3 and you finish 4th, you can rewind and retry. But if you cleared it, say 2nd place, the option disappears, even if you wanted to retry for 1st. In its full version, it works differently. You can rewind even if you clear the goal. That means finishing 2nd doesn't lock you in. You can go again to secure 1st. This tiny change transforms the alarm clock. It's no longer just a safety net. It becomes an optimization tool. It lets you chase perfect runs, maintain win streaks, and push for the absolute best results. And trust me, the small difference is a massive for serious trainers. Now we've talked about features that affect training and races directly. But what about how you actually experience them? That's where dynamic camera mode flips the perspective, literally. It's basically a first-person point of view during races. Every uphill, every corner, every rival Uma right beside you, it all feels way more intense. But there are limits. You can't switch angles mid-race. The only way to see others' perspective is by using replay mode. Also, not every race supports it. Daily races? Nope. Smaller events? Nope. But big ones like the URA Finale? Absolutely yes. So how do you use it? Normally you choose between landscape and portrait mode before a race. With this, you'll see a third option, dynamic mode. Tap that and boom, you're running from her stride in real time. Alright, we've covered features that makes training and racing more exciting. But what about breeding? What if there was a way to make inheritance less of a hassle and more strategic? That's where preset inspiration comes in. Right now, when we go into my career and pick an Uma, the legacy slots are usually empty. That means every single time we have to scroll through a huge list and pick which legacies to use. It's time consuming and honestly kind of annoying. But in the updated version, the game actually remembers your recent choices. So if you've already paired a certain legacies with that Uma, it will automatically suggest them the next time you select her. That alone saves time, but it gets even better. Preset organization feature. At the top of the screen, you'll see your current formation. Below that, there's now a list of save organizations. You can create up to 5 sets and each set has 5 formations inside. That means you can prepare specific builds for every style. One for your frontrunner, one for your pacer, one for your late surger, and one for end closer. Plus an extra slot for whatever you want. If you're happy with your current setup, just hit save and it will store it as a formation. Or you can create a brand new one from scratch. Either way, you'll never need to rebuild everything over and over. Take note, instead of renting just 3 legacy Umas from friends, this time we can rent up to 15. That extra flexibility means more chances to build the inheritance chains you want, without getting stuck because you ran out of rentals. So yeah, legacy presets isn't just convenience, it completely changes how you plan your breeding runs. You'll spend less time scrolling and more time actually building your dream Umas. Now let's move on to one of the most unique additions, the teachings of the 3 founders. If you're familiar with racehorse history, you'll recognize their names: Darley Arabian, Godolphin Barb, and Bearly Turk. They are the 3 foundation bloodlines of modern racehorses. In Uma Musume, they appear as divine mentors who guide your training, also known as the auto-train system. To keep it simple, I'll break down their basic functions. Darley Arabian teachings, a well-balanced training plan, friendship training, middle, skill hints, middle, and G1 races, middle. This is the only option you can't edit, but that also makes her the safest. In my opinion, if you're just hunting for sparks, Darley is your best bet. She'll train your horse girl consistently without risking failed runs. Godolphin's Barb teaching, a skill hint focused plan, friendship training weak, skill hints powerful, and G1 races middle. Perfect for training debuff specialists like Not Nice Nature. But be careful, without editing her conditions, there's a small risk your career run fail. Bearly Turk's teaching, a parameter heavy plan, friendship training powerful, skill hints weak, and G1 races weak. This is for advanced trainers. If you're willing to take risks, she allows heavy min-maxing of stats, but without conditions tweaks, her failure rate is much higher. So to summarize, Darley is safe and balanced, Godolphin, skill hint specialist, and Bearly, risky but powerful. Each goddess changes how your Uma grows, and choosing the right one depends on whether you want consistency, skills, or raw stats. But let's take a breather for a second. A serious trainer also needs to have fun. In Global, we can only use screenshots to capture our Uma moments, but in the updated version, the camera feature is unlocked. You can capture your Uma's favorite expressions, funny reactions, and don't worry, there's a UI toggle for clean shots. Everything gets saved in a gallery. And yes, there are basic filters to spice things up. You can even favorite your best pictures. It's like turning your horse girls into a photo shoot session, and it doesn't stop there. The photo studio lets you pick from different scenarios like training, outing, and even event scenes. For example, remember the training where your Uma slept on the banana peel? Yep, you can revisit and capture that. Or if you've unlocked the hot spring ticket for your Uma,
I'm not gonna judge your journey. It is your fantasy.
that moment is right there too.
Wow! Horses?
So if this feature gives you a little joy, then the next one is going to give you a lot of relief. Because this next quality of life upgrades helps with something we all struggle with: deciding which skills you will get to your Uma. Introducing Skill Filter. This lets you instantly sort through skills based on track types, distance, and strategy. It's especially helpful if you're running supports that don't exactly match your Uma's build. Maybe you're just using them for the Rainbow Link. So with Skill Filter, planning your Uma's build becomes so much easier. No more scrolling endlessly, no more second guessing, just clean focused choices. But speaking of choices, what if I told you that after finishing breathing, instead of just getting a random spark, you could actually decide which spark to take? Yep, in the updated version, that's exactly what you get. The feature is called Factor Specification Function, and it completely changes how you approach inheritance. In Global, after finishing breathing, sparks are completely random. You just pray to RNG gods and hope you get what you need. Sometimes you win, sometimes you just end up with sparks you'll never use. But in the updated version, instead of being forced into a random inheritance, you can actually choose one guaranteed factor out of a set of options for 100 carats. It doesn't matter if it's a blue spark or a red spark, as long as your horse parents or inspirations have that aptitude, you can lock it in. This means when planning for URA Finale runs, you are no longer completely at the mercy of RNG. You can guarantee that critical factor you were aiming for, while the rest remains random. And honestly, Specify Factors is one of those features that makes you wonder, why wasn't this here from the start? It can literally save you hours of failed attempts. But wait, there's more. Alongside this comes another huge quality of life boost: factor acquisition. Some trainers call it spark rerun. Basically, if you don't like the sparks you rolled, you can shuffle them again by paying energy. Now you might be wondering, will my specified factor change if I reroll? The answer is no. Your guaranteed factor from Specify Factors stays safe. Here's how it works. As you can see, I chose stamina. After paying energy, the stamina is still there, and you unlock a free reroll once per day. If you're still unhappy with the roll, you can pay 30 carats for another try. Still unlucky, repeat again for 30 carats. By using these two features, we need an energy and 160 carats for this whole process. Now you may be asking, what if my first roll is better than the second roll? After multiple rerolls, you'll eventually be given the option to choose which factor you want among those repeated rolls. This way, instead of being stuck with one bad inheritance outcome, you now have multiple chances, and ultimately more control over what sparks your Uma carries over. For serious trainers, this is a total game changer, giving you consistency in breeding without completely removing the thrill of RNG. Imagine only one of these features comes to Global tomorrow. What's your choice?